Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And today it's not going to be the normal public access TV quality that you all know and love, because I have been tasked with making a Hoovie's cut of Car Trek with some never before seen footage. A few months ago, before the world ended, Ed Bolian, Freddie Hernandez, and I were tasked by Autotempest to search their site and buy cheap exotics for less than a new C8 Corvette. We all agreed that the new C8 is way overhyped, but we had different opinions on which car was best. Since I have the most Hoovie buying experience, I obviously got the best car.
Oh, jeez. We're taking on lots of water. Oh, that's too much.
But I think I made the best case because I have the most TV presenting experience.
I can't walk and talk intelligently, so I don't know how I'm gonna drive and talk intelligently.
Anyway. There.
It made the world more beautiful than the first.
Put this around right here.
Yeah.
That didn't hit the floor.
Oh, my parking brake.
Well, maybe not, but here's Car Trek, Hoovie Edition.
Florida, the land of Tavarishes, timeshares, severe sunburns, and things that can't wait to kill you. It's not the best place this Kansas boy would have chosen for a supercar adventure, but I made sure that I brought the only car that made any sense. Say hello to my beautiful Ferrari 360 Spider, a 2002 model, and please forgive the fact that it looks like it's been on an episode of Pimp My Ride, because I was working within a budget here. It was way less than a new Chevrolet Corvette C8. It has only 29,000 miles on the odometer, despite the fact that it's almost 20 years old, and it has a clean Carfax. Now, I know I'm not known as the person to make wise purchase decisions, but really, you can't go wrong with a Ferrari 360 Spider. It is the best value of an exotic car out there, and when Autotempest posed this challenge to me, it was the first car that popped in my head. I immediately went searching on Autotempest to find a car, and this one was on eBay. And it happens to be the cheapest Ferrari 360 Spider with a clean title in the USA. I was feeling pretty good until I heard the sound of Ed. No, he didn't. How? It's beautiful.
Where in the world are we?
Well, a swamp, AKA Freddy's backyard.
Have you been here long enough to become addicted to crystal methamphetamine?
No, but I kind of feel like I'm on crack right now, because how did you get this for less than a C8 Corvette?
Well, a terrific choice you've made here. I love a 360
Thank you.
Spider.
Thank you.
Gorgeous car and a great value relative to a C8, unless, of course, you can find the world's cheapest Lamborghini Gallardo.
These are over 100 grand for nice ones.
Most of the time, yes, but the greatest thing about Autotempest is that you can add additional search terms to whatever it is that you're trying to find, such as damaged, or salvage, or even flood.
No.
Haha, yes, feast your eyes upon my passenger seat here, and you'll notice some markings that indicate the previous water level to this fine automobile. But now it is a perfectly good running and driving 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider with just 12,000 original miles. What do you think Freddie will have brought?
I have no idea.
And as is his custom, he's a bit late. So
Always.
Let's go explore our surroundings here.
Oh, yes.
A lovely swamp.
Yeah, Freddie chooses to live here.
Favorable taxes, I hear.
True, yes.
Ooh, there's a water moccasin.
These are poisonous, right?
Yeah, yes, they are. I don't think they'll come up here.
As a surprise to absolutely nobody, Freddy's supercar wasn't doing so super. And before he could hit the road, he needed to wrench every day through a very severe leak.
See, what's great about buying an old exotic car is you get to do stuff like this before taking it on a trip. I mean, instead of being clean and enjoying yourself, this works as well. Also, when you work on cars like this, make sure the lift in your house is just under the height at which you can work comfortably. You know, just so you don't forget why you made these awesome decisions in the first place. So hopefully it's not the pump itself that's leaking. Everybody watch your clothes.
Here comes the oil.
Oh yeah, that's the
clutch line?
Yeah.
Which one?
Right there, both of them actually. Cool. Parts run.
You have no clutch oil.
There's nothing in there. That's doable.
Finally, Freddy stopped talking and started wrenching. Ed and I are used to waiting on Freddy though, but as the swampy Florida creatures started surrounding us, we were quickly losing our patience.
It's hot. It is. And a few bugs. Yeah, but it's lovely though. Oh, there is an alligator. A real one right there.
Like it's a little bitty guy. He's cute.
He seems friendly enough.
Yeah, I hear something.
Is that a power steering line?
It was something else. Sounds V12-ish.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh,
a burble.
What will he have gotten?
What do you think?
What is it?
So this is a 2015 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. So
Yeah,
at least
this is the good one. This is quite possibly the most beautiful car in the world. It has the 2/3 golden ratio going on everywhere. There's no bad angles on this car.
I am 100% sure that you have cheated. Because this is a 5-year-old V12 Vantage, right?
Right.
There's no way it's cheaper than the base price of a C8 Corvette. There's no way.
What do you mean base price?
Yeah, $59,000.
Correct.
No.
I paid $59,000 for my car.
And mine?
No.
Yes. What did you pay for this?
I paid $54,000, way less than a C8 Corvette.
No. So we said C8 Corvette. You didn't say anything about base price. So C8 Corvette, nobody's buying the base model. What they're buying is the upgraded package with the nice seats and the nice aero. This was $69,000, which is exactly what somebody would pay for a C8 Corvette.
You cheated.
The whole
I did not
internet
cheat.
thinks that a C8 is $59,000.
Right.
We were not alone in this assumption.
Did you get a manual?
I did.
Okay.
Hold on. Does it have a clean title?
No, it doesn't have a clean title.
Okay, there we go.
Look at the seat.
Okay, now all is well with the world.
Take a peek at the seat.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. That wasn't because Tyler got too excited
Oh.
riding in it.
That waterline was pretty high then.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
I'd like to think it was lower on one end.
It was pretty obvious there was no point in debating these cheaters on which car was best. So instead we grabbed our keys, put them in the ignition to do what these cars were born to do. The problem is they were born a long time ago.
It is a beautiful day in Central Florida, and I am driving my gated manual 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. Now, the Lamborghini Gallardo is generally heralded as the best entry-level exotic or sports car, supercar, because quite honestly, they tend to be pretty much bulletproof. Now, when Audi bought Lamborghini in 1998, their influence wasn't really made manifest until the Gallardo came out for model year 2004 in the United States, model year 2003 rest of the world. And in 2006, they removed the roof. And so now we have the Gallardo Spider. Sports cars should be manual. This car is manual. And the greatest thing about all of this is that I'm not driving one of their cars with a flappy paddle gearbox. I love the sound of the shifter. Maybe it's not as fast, maybe it's not as track worthy or whatever, but goodness gracious, there is nothing like it.
Now, in the 360 came out, everybody loved it. They praised the performance, the engine, the looks, everything except for one person, one very important person, and that was Jeremy Clarkson. He really didn't like the way it looked. He said this bigger car that was more practical, it wasn't a Ferrari. They shouldn't be comfortable and practical. And the power to weight ratio was the same as the old 355. But he saved most of his criticism, most of his hate for this, the automated manual transmission, the F1 transmission, or as he called it and coined the phrase, a flappy paddle gearbox. As much as I love a gated manual transmission that I can row myself, this makes sense. This is the first of the modern age, but unfortunately, they do have a tendency to eat clutches very quickly at $5,000 or $10,000 a pop. And I'm sure Ed and Freddie are making the same argument, but they cheated. They cheated. I didn't cheat. This is easy to find, well below the budget of a new Corvette, and it offers just as much fun, if not more. Whee!
Oh boy! This is what I'm talking about. This is an Aston Martin V12 Vantage S. I love this car. This is not just my favorite car, but my favorite shape of anything. I love the original Vantage. I think they got it right the first time, and the V12 is a little bit more muscular, a little bit more aggressive, and it makes just the best noise. Oh. So a lot of people consider this transmission to be the first years of new technology, which is usually not as good as the last years of old technology. I think that's sort of reversed, because this is actually the best single clutch automated manual on the market. It is actually very responsive. And there's a little trick. You hit the sport button and it makes the gear shifts a lot crisper, and it makes the car sound it makes it a lot snappier. Ed and Tyler, they bought the wrong car. They bought the wrong car. I love this thing.
While we all spent the morning loving our cars, Ed's Lamborghini decided to do something completely out of character for an Italian supercar. Not.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. I got absolutely nothing. Darn it. All right, guys, we got to pull over. Shoot.
Well, here's the thing. It might be out of gas. Like, it might actually be out of gas.
Okay.
Because you said it was 3/8. Well, let's see where it is.
Yeah, it's just under a half tank.
You're out of gas.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So a little less than half a tank is empty for you.
Gas station's right there.
Yeah.
There is something I haven't told you, gentlemen.
Okay.
And it is that occasionally Lamborghini Gallardos will refuse to accept gasoline.
They use it a lot.
They do, but it's putting it in that's challenging. So obviously the filler neck is quite short, and then there's 2 saddle tanks. It usually will take a couple of gallons. Oh, that happens.
Oh.
Whoa! So as slowly as you can put it in, like less than that. Like you need to watch the hundredths of a gallon.
Oh boy, this is like properly dangerous.
It honestly takes about 30 minutes to put a tank of gasoline in this car.
A very long time later, Ed's car was full of fuel, and he even applied some fire safety measures that would have been approved by Valentino Balboni and the entire Lamborghini factory.
Sorry about that, gentlemen. Thank you for the push. I suppose my car's not quite as trustworthy as we all thought it would be.
It's a bit of an understatement, don't you think?
I guess.
I appreciate the exercise, but clearly we cannot trust your fuel gauge at all.
Oh, hold on. Ding, ding. I got a text from the auto chemist.
Very good.
All right. All of you bought the wrong cars.
No.
A modern-day supercar must be all things to all people. They're no longer the fragile, fire-prone prima donnas of the past. Nowadays, they must be fast, good-looking, comfortable, convenient, and reliable. To show that you should have bought a C8, you're going to take your cars on a series of tests designed to expose your aging hoopty's many flaws.
That's you. You just have a hoopty.
Each test is pass or fail. The man with the most passed test will get to keep his car, and the losers will have to list them for sale on Auto Tempest.
I like my car.
I'm not selling.
I don't want to sell mine.
Your first test begins now. You'll take your cars to a professional exotic car mechanic to do the pre-purchase inspection you should have done on your cars before you bought them. A repair estimate will be generated, passing will be any estimate below $5,000.
Five grand is a lot. My car is basically perfect.
I don't have a prayer.
I'm so toast. So toast.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Woo!
To perform our post-purchase inspections, we were led to an old hangar in the middle of nowhere. And despite our reservations, everyone felt good about their car's health. Well, maybe not everyone.
I know this place.
Looky here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Pretty things. I wonder if they work better than mine.
How you doing?
You're the guys from Auto Tempest?
That's us, Tyler. Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, who's up first?
1, 2, 3, not it.
Not it.
Yes, that's me.
Absolutely.
First victim.
2002 Ferrari 360.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be bad. After a complicated process of elimination, I was voted first up onto the lift for inspection. The Ferrari had minor issues here and there, normal for a 360, nothing that looked to be an expensive fix, well, except for that one thing. Let me show you this top, all right?
Deal.
So you see that side over there is quite nasty.
Oh, yeah, it's had its better day.
Right.
That's, wow.
Okay, moment of truth. Clutch wear, if it's worn and you need to replace it, is very, very expensive on these cars. So hopefully not, because I'm already facing a top. So how are we looking? Any faults? How's the clutch?
So far, so good. You've got no faults. It's awesome. That's a good thing.
Good.
Clutch wear looks very good. It's 41% worn, okay, which means give or take you have roughly 50% left.
Nice. Okay, well, not too big of a list.
No,
the top's
no.
going to be kind of an estimate,
Yes,
but
sir.
you'll let me know.
I will, sir. Absolutely.
You've got a few other cars to inspect, though.
Oh my God.
They're going to be a lot worse. I already know. I already know. Next on the lift was the Aston Martin, a car that 00 Cheater Freddy swore all day was absolutely perfect.
See the fluid leaking right there?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
So the motor mount leaked out.
A little bit, yeah. so-
Interesting. Sometimes you got too much fluid in cars, and they just let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't have anything to do with the fact that we had to replace 2 ruptured lines.
Okay.
So it does have a noisy power steering pump.
Yeah, we'll check the fluid level.
Okay.
And the fluid level is, that's full.
Okay, so it's not low on fluid.
No.
Oh boy.
Maybe just a noisy pump. I'm not sure how
Okay.
that.
None of this looks cheap.
Unfortunately, no. All joking around aside, no. It's an Aston Martin.
When I drive this car, specifically when I drive it hard, I have a clutch smell coming into the car. How much does a clutch cost? Clutch job?
Probably anywhere from 75, 8,000 on up, depending on what you need.
$8,000. Okay.
Yeah, give or take. You know.
I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I'm scared enough.
you have enough to go with already, so.
Okay. All right. Oh boy.
And then it was the turn of Ed Aquaman Bolian, who at this point was as surprised as we all were that his car even made it there.
All right, so I just did tires, so I know those are good. We did notice some slight bends in the rear, which I do notice is a very strong vibration right around 80 miles per hour.
Does it go away the faster you go?
It does. It
Go
does.
faster.
That's that's the approach I've taken.
Okay.
And you will find a good bit of mud under here.
Very interesting. Awesome.
Don't take your Lamborghini swimming.
No.
As it turns out. How many miles would you guess were on this car from its state of
Underneath it looks like 80 to 100, but the odometer shows the opposite, of course.
Yeah, it was a hard 13,000 miles.
The poor car.
All right, so this is the 4th bottle of water going in. So it's taking on water just about as fast as it takes on gasoline. So when you're trying to fuel it up, it will click off after about every 0.2 of a gallon. So it takes about, there we go. We're up.
Good. Okay.
It takes about 30 minutes to fill a tank of gas. But we did check, and the fuel pump fuses are good.
Yeah.
But you can see that the water line came up pretty high here. There's a lot of mud.
There's a lot of mud here,
A
too.
lot of mud, but it did not get to the control modules.
Oh, absolutely. Once we scan, we'll see if they're alive and kicking and go from there.
Despite all of the warning lights and the water damage, nothing found during Ed's Lamborghini inspection put him at risk of winding up on the side of the road again. Quite the miracle, but the car trek is young.
That's nice.
For you, sir.
Thank you.
For you, sir.
Thank you.
For you, sir.
You can keep that. I don't need this.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being gentle.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, he was not gentle. Okay. All right. Everybody, say your repair cost at the same time. 1, 2, 3. $13,550.
$13,000?
Yeah, it's 13 grand to get that car whole again. Isn't it nice? I thought the car was perfect.
Oh, yeah, I've heard you say perfect a lot.
It's still perfect. It's just less than it's less than.
What's the big one's your clutch?
Yeah, so that's the clutch. That's probably going to need to get done $6,000.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
Ed, you're low.
I'm $8,000.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's a lot of little things, but
Okay.
I mean, no.
I'm only at $2,600 technically for mechanical items.
On what possible technicality?
Well, it's technical because they're mechanical issues, but the $8,000 top is my big problem. The canvas
Okay,
is
so
done.
technically, if I didn't have any of this stuff on the list, I would be at 0. So technically, I won.
And technically, if there were no flood in April of last year in Santa Monica, I won.
But then it would be $100,000. So how much did you spend on your car fixing it before it came here?
We needn't speak about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
How much?
Come on.
$12,500.
$1,500. So how much are you into this thing with repairs, with everything else? That's
60 plus 8 plus about 80.
$80,000.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good amount of money to spend on a car.
Well, at least my clutch is over 50%, unlike yours, which is dead.
The car still runs, so let's just leave it at that.
Well, I can tell you how much of this my car is going to get. A few more bottles of water to top the coolant reservoir off, and forget about it.
Guys, I just got another Auto Tempest text.
Do tell.
It says, now that you know exactly how trash your old exotics are, you're going to do something that you must do if you're out of warranty and broke. You're going to work on your cars yourselves. This would be no problem for a Corvette owner, so you have to prove wrong the stereotype that supercars like the ones you have are hard to fix in your garage. Your next challenge is to save some money and fix an item on the repair bill you just got on your own. You have until midnight.
I am an awful mechanic, but I
Not
can
as
turn
bad
a wrench.
as me.
You don't turn wrenches.
I don't know which side of them you do turn.
So
This is going to be fun. Let's go to my shop.
Immediately after we got the text from Auto Tempest challenging us to fix our cars by midnight, we hit the road. Hard.
Hey Tyler, how does my exhaust sound?
Yes, that V12 sounded pretty good, but nothing beats an angry Ferrari V8. We arrived at Tavarish's secret workshop where he was way too excited to get his hands dirty for some reason. He instructed us all to back our cars on the lift, which usually wouldn't have been a problem unless, of course, you're driving a flappy battle Ferrari.
Dude, what was that?
Smell the clutch.
Well, the automated manual transmission, the F1, it's confusing. It's a little knob for reverse, and sometimes it just doesn't want to go in reverse. You know, if I don't
How
get it right.
confusing could it be? One says R, the other one doesn't.
It's kind of a weird T thing. I mean, it can happen.
Thank you.
Okay, so the reason why we're here is because Auto Tempest told us to fix something on our long repair list, and I am really excited because this is my element. Are you guys ready to get dirty?
I have people for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
See these hands? They're not working hands.
No, they're delicate. There are two problems with this car that I would love to address this evening. The first is that it absolutely refuses to accept fuel when I ask it to. The other is that as I drive, the residue and sediment from the flood that has paralyzed this car previously absolutely buries my luggage that's in the front compartment. So I'm going to set out to the removal of whatever these torque screws and, I don't know, bolts are, and get this plastic tub that houses the top out. and then I'll set off to that. But Freddie, what are you doing this evening?
I'm going to completely transform this car. It is going to be awesome.
So, are you gonna do the clutch?
No.
It needs a clutch. You're
Yeah,
Mr. Wrench every day.
I know, but I'm not going to do that.
All right, how about the power steering pump? That's probably a little more manageable, right?
No.
So what are you doing?
Dude, don't worry about it. You'll see later. Just worry about whatever you're doing.
All right. So for my wrenching segment, I'm going to start with a de-pimping as much as I can with this car. I'm going to continue by replacing my intake boots with this brand new one here. We'll start by getting this, we'll start by getting this off where the air filter lives. To get to here, to get to there, yes. Freddie.
What?
I'm gonna need a little help on this one. This is a weird clamp.
All right, so this clamp, it's a one-time use. And what you have to do is you have to take this and you just squish it down. But you have to be very careful because whatever you put on it, well, you can never really take it off. So put this around right here. Yeah, just hold this up like that.
Holding it up, yes.
Yeah, got it. Okay, like that. All right. Is that one the bad one? Because
You're right. Yes, he said this one was the bad one. So I just did the wrong one.
I got an idea. Duct tape.
Tape.
Yes.
Okay.
We can tape that up, and we'll be okay.
I think Ed really needs your help. I think
yeah.
I think he's lost.
But Ed thought that he was far from lost. He was making great progress removing anything that might get in the way, sure to find something marked part that stops gasoline from getting in. Eventually, though, the retired car salesman ended up delegating the work to someone with a clue.
All right, so they're gonna get to the point where I have that thing off.
Now that he got that piece off, the second order of business on Ed's waterlogged Lamborghini was to find a way to keep everything in the front compartment safe from all the mud and dirt kicked up while driving. This gave Ed a great chance to put his Georgia Tech education to the test. Too bad he majored in manipulation with a minor in enunciation.
Flood Gallardo owners of the world will soon embrace the Ed Shield. Of course, the go-to-market version will probably be a little bit better fitting, but I believe I have solved my problem. And so now I am off to check on Good Tyler's progress. Done. Holy cow, Tyler, look at that.
Yes.
What a transformation. This is exactly what I think about when I think about it. The 360 Spider I fell in love with as a 16-year-old.
Thank you. It has officially been unpimped. Look down the side of it.
Now, what about these LED lights?
Well, I don't know how they work at all. I don't think they work.
I'd hope not. That would upset what you've done here a good bit.
How are things going over there?
I don't have the slightest clue. I left Freddie to it. Hopefully, he's got it a little bit closer to accepting gasoline when it's asked to, but I suppose I'll go check.
All right, I need you to put your lips on and blow.
What?
So we need him to put his lips on your fill nozzle hole
Okay.
and blow tightly to simulate being filled with gasoline.
Yeah, it's really easy. Just look at this.
What in the world?
It's real smooth. It's good. So as that happens, there's a little valve here that should be releasing that pressure. Mm-hmm. And as you could hear, your gas tank's groaning and Freddie groaning.
Yeah.
It's not releasing the pressure.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and pull the valve out and see how much mud is stuck in there and preventing it from opening.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great plan. You don't die. You finish that.
I'm gonna lie
here.
down. What year is it?
After many hours of discussing holes and what to do with them, Ed had successfully removed the hose with only a small amount of help from Freddie and the exceptionally well-dressed Jared. They then discovered even more dead weight that Ed had been carrying along this journey.
Blow on that. You see that? That is a gas tank that is totally usable.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I could put as much gasoline in as
This
I want.
is a game changer. This will change your life, dude. And boom, your car is good to go.
Repaired.
Yes.
Wrench every night.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see those LED lights in Tyler's engine bay?
Maybe.
How do we make them work?
Well, probably you need a remote. Yeah, so,
Like a person bought that for that car?
yes.
Okay, well you fixed my thing and you helped Tyler with his thing, and now I suppose you can go and work on your own car.
Yeah, I guess I could.
All right, well I'm sure you've got a lot of work cut out for you.
Maybe. So now that those other two are left to their own devices, I'm gonna do something that I wanted to do ever since I got this car, and it's really, really simple. It's a big transformation by doing something extremely simple. Now, back here is a fuse box, and in it is a little fuse, and all I have to do is pull it. It's fuse 15, and it's a little 5-amp fuse. You pull it, and immediately the car is better.
So let me get this straight. Your
All right.
wrenching session, Mr. Wrench Every Day,
Yeah.
is pulling a fuse.
Right, so the reason why is because I have an exhaust leak. That was on my list of things, and the fuse is for the exhaust, and it makes the exhaust more free-flowing. So, if my exhaust is more free-flowing, then that means my exhaust leak is lessened. Boom, I have solved the problem. Wait till you hear this.
Does it sound the same to you?
It does sound so good.
That does not sound the same.
Sounds good? Oh, okay.
That doesn't sound the same at all, guys.
Gracious, whoa.
Okay.
That's fixed.
No, it's not fixed, it's masked.
You really haven't fixed anything at all.
What are you talking about?
Not a single thing.
What are you talking
There was
about?
no
That car
wrenching.
sounds awesome.
It sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
You pulled a fuse. Ed,
Right.
you put a piece of cardboard and tape all over the front of your car and then let Freddie work on the rest of it. You didn't fix a single thing.
Conceited, but highly effective.
I fixed something.
Absolutely. Not the right something.
No, not at all.
Yes, it was the wrong side, but I fixed something. Also, look at this car. It is a complete transformation. I have completely unpimped it. Completely.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Look
Oh.
at this.
You got it working.
Oh, yeah.
My disco lights. This is the remote?
2005 has arrived, my friend, in all of its glory.
Man.
It's even in the floors, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is the whole package.
All the work I just did to unpimp, I have now been repimped. Completely repimped.
Guys, I just got a text from Auto Tempest. It's a pretty long one, okay? So it says, congratulations on completing in several hours what a competent mechanic would get done in a few minutes. The only thing you've proved is that unless you like hanging out in dirty shops in the middle of the night, buying exotic sports cars out of warranty with no way to pay for expensive repairs probably isn't a good idea. To put your bubblegum fixes to the test, you must take your cars on a road trip from here to one of the most prestigious car events in the world, the Amelia Island Concourse d'Elegance.
Ooh, that's not too far
That
away.
sounds wonderful, yeah.
Because Amelia Island isn't very far from where we are now, tomorrow morning you will drive 200 miles in the wrong direction. And to show how practical your cars can be, you'll do the entire drive on one tank of fuel. And one last thing, no highways.
Oh.
Yeah,
How are we gonna do that?
I don't know.
After a late night wrench-a-thon, it's nothing short of a miracle that our cars worked as well as they did. But the sun was shining, and we were ready for the latest challenge from Auto Tempest. We were told to drive our used supercars 200 miles south to an undisclosed location using no highways and only one tank of fuel. The only thing we had to do now was fill our cars up, which in Ed's case was easier said than done.
So you have a Gallardo Spider.
Yes.
And this exact circumstance is how yours burned to the ground before you purchased it, right?
A little bit, yes.
Correct. And up until now, whenever I would add fuel, about every 0.2 of a gallon, it would spew into my face.
Okay.
Oh,
So here goes everything.
Ed's car's fuel intolerance had been cured and flowing freely, and he was so impressed with his own mastery of wrenching, or delegating, that he forgot that he wasn't filling an entirely empty tank. When it clicked off after 5 gallons, we assumed Ed and Freddie failed. We kept trying to force more gas in until Freddie noticed fuel coming out in a new way.
The gas is all the way at the top. Is that usually how you fill your cars? Yeah.
Do we have fire extinguishers?
No.
So at this point, Freddie slowly backed away from Ed's Italian powder keg, and we started on our long, highway-free journey, but we immediately found ourselves in traffic, which none of our cars appreciated very much.
So Ed, the funny thing about your car being on fire is everything's behind you. So theoretically, you could outrun your own flames.
You got any clutch smell?
My clutch smells very faint, so I'm gonna pretend like it doesn't exist.
Your exhaust note drowns out your power steering line, so...
I guess that's kind of fixing another thing, right?
Tyler, are you noticing the lack of rear downforce from your compromised rear diffuser?
No, it is not missing it one bit.
Our attempts at killing time in rush hour traffic got a little boring after a while, so we took it upon ourselves to slightly bend Auto Tempest rules and make up some of our lost time on a highway. Just a little bit anyway.
So this is how fast I cannot go because the vibration from my wheels is atrocious.
That sounds like a personal problem.
The vibration kept getting worse, and Freddie noticed that the rear diffuser on the Lamborghini was falling off, so Ed pulled off to fix it using factory-approved methods and some adhesive materials.
Yeah, this is living the dream right here.
We set off yet again, making great time on the highway with Ed's car looking like it drove through a piñata factory, right up until the unthinkable happened. Again.
I think I need more tape. This didn't hold well at all. I'll get more for this particular taping.
I just got a text from Auto Tempest.
Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah, they're pretty angry. So it says, what part of no highways did you not understand? Not only are your cars not as practical or fuel efficient as a C8 Corvette, but it's no question that you are all cheaters. I mean, a little bit. Instead of a nice scenic drive through Florida like you would have had, you will now be directed to the most punishing car environment imaginable, the quarter-mile drag strip, where you will test your cars against the manufacturer's original quarter-mile times. The person who comes closest will pass. Good luck with your fragile clutches and egos.
You know, I have never driven on a drag strip.
Really?
You know, I like cars like these, and they're not good at this.
Well, I'm from Kansas, and pretty much every road in Kansas is just like this. So I've done quite a bit of drag racing. It's very simple. When that light turns green right there, you just go. So what is your original quarter-mile time?
12 seconds and 3 tenths of a second.
12.3.
Yes.
I'm actually 12.5.
I'm
Really?
12.7.
That car's faster than a V10?
It's pretty darn heavy. The convertible aspect of being a Gallardo adds about 400 pounds.
Really?
Okay, so we have 3, 5, 7. Those are the times to beat. I think we should get on the track. Who's going first?
00 Freddy here's going
Yeah,
first. Show us
you're
how
so
it's done,
confident.
sir.
Okay. All right, yeah, no pressure. So, this is gonna be fun. I'm staging in my Aston Martin V12 Vantage. So, sport mode on, and go. Oh yeah! Whoa! That's 100. All right.
1272 at 116.
12.7.
Out of the box.
Okay, so that means that I only have like half a second to go, a little less than that?
Yes. You're really gonna risk your clutch for half a second?
I kind of want to now.
Good luck.
Freddie's second attempt, like the car, had been just shy of perfect, something he can blame entirely on himself and not in any way on the car's increasingly smelly clutch. Freddie took his best time of 12.7 seconds and then let Ed prepare for his very first time down the drag strip.
That was a lot of fun, and just what the car needed. My check engine light's gone now.
Really?
I think we checked it.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
This is my wrenching.
Italian tune-up. Yes?
That's it. Yes. That's it.
But the top has to go up.
Yes. Do you think yours will?
It will, but it's quite embarrassing.
Does it count as up if there's still holes in it?
It's disgusting, but I'll do it.
Yeah, just watch it, please. F1 technology, don't fail us now.
Power press. No!
Look at that hole.
That is impressive.
So, this is going to be a very easy launch. I am not going to dump the clutch on this thing because every time I do that, I would depreciate this car horrendously because I'd lose 5% of my clutch.
Ooh, ciao, Mr. Clutch.
Well, all my plans went out the window there because I floored it. Because that's just habit. And you can definitely feel the clutch slip. And you definitely smell it.
How much is a clutch on one of those things?
That's about $5,000-6,000 bucks.
How was it?
13.7.
The same?
13.7.
I'm the same as you.
No, I got a 13.3.
Oh.
But there's a few differences. Mainly, there was a lot of smoke coming out the back of your car.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I said that I was going to take it easy, but then it just happened, the lights changed, and I had to floor it, because that's what you do.
that is what you do, and you did. Oh, man. Buying new clutches a quarter mile at a time.
I gave up a lot of clutch for that, just to try and beat you.
All right, so you did a 13.7 against a manufacturer time of 12.5, so 1.2 away. I did a 13.3 against a 12.7, so 0.6 away.
Right.
And you did
12.7 and
against, what was
12.3, which is 0.4 away, and I am the winner.
Now, I noticed that if you go to the internet and you Google the quarter mile time for a 2015 Aston Martin V12 Vantage, yes, there's a lot of magazine tests where it did a 12 flat, a 12.1. So if Aston Martin had not lied about how fast this car was, and if you hadn't supported them and co-signed that lie to us, then I believe I would have won this contest in my amateur first pass out drag racing career. Batting 1,000.
Agree 100%.
In what universe is that a lie? I had the fastest car. I had the closest time.
Most expensive car.
Yes, the most expensive car because it's quality. Look at it.
There is one way that we could settle this, like gentlemen.
Cage fighting.
No, race. Except I'm not racing. I am
I'm
totally
not launching.
done. Yeah,
I'm not
I'm.
launching that again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, the drag strip. Yeah, launching. I'm totally done. I have no clutch that I want to sacrifice anymore. But you all could roll race.
It's gonna feel bad to lose to that, isn't it?
No, it's not. Let's do it.
Let's find out.
Bye-bye, Mr. Bolian. Woo!
As they came back to the start line, Freddie made sure he thanked Ed for a good race.
In your face!
Guys, that was a lot of fun, but I'm very, very glad it's over. My car is beat up.
A text from Auto Tempest. You may have survived this, but you're not done yet.
Come on.
Next door to you, there is a full road course. Right. It is clear that the three of you wish to be automotive journalists, so now you'll get to see what it's actually like to be one. You must take your cars over there and complete a lap. But while you do so, you have to offer the audience 3 useful pieces of information and 3 entertaining metaphors about the car's acceleration, braking, and handling. If you misspeak, stutter, or say something wrong, you have to start over. The time will continue, and the fastest lap wins.
I can barely form a coherent sentence. That's why Auto Tempest never sends me the text messages.
This
is impossible.
I can't read. Like,
this is going to be fun.
Let's go. No, it's not.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, my parking brake.
All right, well, the sun has set and we are at another racetrack that Auto Tempest has sent us to. We are at the road course at PBIR. So we've just left the drag strip, and quite honestly, I think our cars are probably a little bit better suited to do this. A little more lefts and rights, not just hammer down. So now what we have to do is just take them on a lap and talk a bit about them.
Yeah, except it's not really that simple now, is it? Auto Tempest also told us that we'd be doing a one-take review on these cars on a track we've never driven on at night, and that is not
hard. Yes, hard. I can barely walk and talk and think, so driving and talking and thinking, I can't string a sentence together right now. I'm just thinking about it. It's scary.
Don't hurt yourself.
I know.
Well, I suppose we should make sure that you don't go right when left would be better. So how about we go out and do a little exploration?
Yeah, we can go out on the track and do some laps.
There we go.
Let's drive the track.
Yes.
All right.
Let's take our cars on the track.
Yes, this was all very epic, and while we were having fun learning the track, Freddie and I were not so secretly freaking out over the challenge ahead of us. Ed, on the other hand, wasn't.
The Ferrari is yellow like a yellow...
Aston Martin. Good?
Good. Ferrari, gooder. Goodest.
Well, if y'all are going to sit over there and Google things, I suppose I'll just go out and do it. See you in a minute. Good evening, everyone. I am out for a lap of PBIR in my 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. When this car was new, it would cost you $195,000. That is unless you made the unfortunate mistake of opting for the $10,000 sequential manual E-gear transmission. The car goes 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds and on to a top speed of 195 miles per hour. Now, when the car came out, it was most well known perhaps for its braking, which is impressive. Now, the acceleration is good. I wouldn't say it's Usain Bolt, but at the very least, it's a kid leaving the door for recess. But the best trait about this car is probably its handling. This car could sustain G-forces strong enough to put a pregnant woman into labor. But the all-wheel drive does compromise the steering wheel just a bit. It's like having an adolescent opportunity to do some bosom handling, but finding out that they are fettered by the sheathing of a brassiere. The support is appreciated, but there are better and more preferred ways to go about it. So the other guys in their two-wheel drive cars might be having a little bit more fun through the twisties, but I'll tell you, I'm having an absolute blast. And here we are to enter the pits. All right. Yeah, that's impossible. There you go. Out and in.
What?
No prep, no, like, spinning the wheels, figuring out what you're going to say.
Driving the car for a week.
It would take me a week just to figure out what I'm going to say.
I said the things about it. You're up.
Okay. I got a thing. I wrote it down. Got it in a Google Doc.
Tape it to the mirror.
Yep, perfect. Okay.
I can't walk and talk intelligently, so I don't know how I'm going to drive and talk intelligently. I may be able to get a sentence or two out, but not the whole thing. This is a 2002 Ferrari 360 Spider, and I sound way too much like Doug Miro with that one. This is a 2000. No, Doug Miro. This is a This is a 2002 Ferrari 360 Spider, and when this beautiful Pininfarina body was unveiled to the world, This is a 2002 Ferrari 360 Spider, and when this beautiful Pininfarina body was unveiled to the world, it made it more beautiful than the first time Luciano Pavarotti sang that beautiful Italian song that he sings. It has a 3.6 liter V8, 400 horsepower, accelerates to 60 in 4.6 seconds. But it's not the size of those numbers that matter. As I tell my wife, you need to bask in the sunshine more, and currently I am basking in the beautiful yellow sunshine of this beautiful 360 Spider. And I don't care about the fact that it's slower than a new BMW 5 Series. The handling is just as predictable as a breadstick at the Olive Garden, and it stops me faster than a basket of breadsticks and a tour of Italy from the Olive Garden stops my gastrointestinal system. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Doing a review in car, especially on a track at speed in sport mode, it's gonna be difficult, but let's try it. Okay. So when it comes to let's try this again. So while we're on the subject of my Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, this is one of my favorite cars because of its 6-liter V12. And yes, that is a V6. Now the handling is something altogether out of their... let's start this over. We can do this, we can do this. So to start talking about my 2015 Aston Martin V12 Vantage, one of my favorite things about this car is its V12 that measures 6 liters, but it's basically 2 Ford Taurus V6s put together. They are better than the sum of their parts because they make 565 horsepower and 457 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is a rocket ship. Gets from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, all the way up to a top speed of 201 miles an hour. And if you think that's not fast, then you are just plain wrong. Now the handling is a different animal altogether. This has 3 separate modes. It has normal, it has sport, and it has track. We are in track because we're on a track right now, and the handling is like a Norse god with tap dancing shoes. It's lighter than you think, but when that hammer comes down, man, you better watch out. And the brakes, whoa. So we just stopped from 130 there, and the brakes are like $5,000 a piece of trash can lids. These are massive carbon ceramic rotors. I mean, it couldn't stop faster than if you hit a tree. And yes, that is something that some other automotive journalists have said, but we're not doing originality, we're doing quantity. And I think that is going to be it for my 3 things about this car. Well, I can't words.
At least you got to know the track. Well, I did a minute 43. One lap.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me leave and pull back in.
That's impossible.
1 lap.
So what was your time?
5 minutes and 31 seconds.
People have done worse, have they?
So, I had a stroke in the middle of my lap, and we still managed a 7 minute 12 seconds. I got my words out.
All the words.
Yes, all the words.
Okay. All right. Well.
So when you're trying to say lots of things, you sort of go off track, both in your mind and in the car. And we're off the track.
we might have noticed it. It came up in conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, no, come on.
Oh, I've gotten this text from Auto Tempest. Gentlemen, you've survived another track, but you're going to need to get some rest tonight. Horsepower is not like fine Italian wine or, in Freddie's case, warm British beer. It does not age well over time. And we expect that most of the horsepower that left the factory in your cars has found somewhere else to be. Tomorrow morning, you will depart for a dynamometer test, and we will find out what percentage of the horsepower your cars began life with is still in there.
My car is basically brand new. Your cars are like 1,000 years old.
That is true, but you started with the most horsepower. So perhaps Aston Martin lied about that as well.
We gotta get some rest.
Yeah, I don't think I could say dynamometer.
Dynamometer.
Dynamometer, is that, yes, that's the word. No.
Don't hurt yourself.
Hey, I'm not gonna.
Let's get some rest, dude.
Yeah. Auto Tempest has brought us to Horsepower Logic for a dyno test of our cars to see how many horses have escaped over the years from our engines. As we drove here this morning, it had a little issue.
I will confess that my car seems not to have appreciated its testing yesterday. I would assume that as it explored Adele's prospect of rolling in the deep of Santa Monica mudslides, it thought it would no longer be driven in such anger. We had a tremendous blast yesterday, and honestly, at that time, it did quite well. But when I got in the car this morning to head this way, a couple miles into the drive, it gave me a four-wheel drive error, which I was eventually able to get to clear through the gauge cluster test check button. But a couple more miles in, it started to flash and had a red error and was beeping very, very loudly. So it was quite angry. I pulled over to see a non-insignificant amount of fluid dripping from the front differential. It was driving okay. I think that I need to maybe tighten the gas cap.
That's exactly what it could be. Actually, it could be three things. Number one is just a fluid flush and fill. Number two is a complete dismantling of the front differential, and basically we make it rear-wheel drive. Or number three, we just get a new car.
I don't like that idea.
I kind of like that idea.
I'm growing to like this thing.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll pull it in and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I mean, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good thing we have a Lambo mechanic.
While Ed's Aqua Lambo was lifted into the air to show once again why buying a flood car is a terrible idea, I decided to get this dyno party started.
All right, Freddie, so how are we going to quantify this? How is all this going to work?
Well, basically, you strap your Camry onto the dyno and you make 100 horsepower. So the way a dyno works is it measures horsepower at the rear wheels. This is not going to be the same number as what you get in the crank horsepower or the BHP that a magazine or manufacturer would give you. So there's a factor called drivetrain loss, and that drivetrain is basically your transmission, your axles, and everything, the tires, all that stuff, that actually loses horsepower from the engine. So in this car, you'd probably get somewhere between 15 and 25% of that horsepower lost. And that's going to translate into a lower number that you're going to be looking for.
So what you're saying is that we basically have to handicap it from the manufacturer's estimate to get our benchmark, to which we will seek to find the highest percentage possible of those horsepowers.
Yeah. So with this car, it was making how much horsepower?
400.
Many moons ago.
I think it'll do that easily. Easily. It's a very healthy engine.
Freddie, what are some factors that would cause drivetrain loss over time as an engine or a car ages?
Well, a few things. Number one could be the engine is just worn out. The piston rings aren't as tight as they used to be. The engine just has too many hard-driven miles on it. Maybe some seals wear out. Maybe some bad gas. Maybe some dirty injectors. Lots of things that would make this engine not run as efficiently as it should.
What about exhaust leaks?
Exhaust leaks would definitely make the engine not run as it should.
As the day went yesterday, my exhaust got louder and tickier and rattlier.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Well, it's going to be interesting. Let's just say that.
I think it'll be fine, really. Prepare for magnificence, gentlemen.
I'm going to stand far back. Really, really far.
Let her rip.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Good luck.
So please. All right, first, please don't blow up. Second, third, fourth is the gear we're going to the pole. All right, we're in fourth. Please don't blow up. I'm hitting it.
My Ferrari made a glorious noise and managed not to explode, but it made a less than glorious 306 horsepower. I wasn't worried though because I had a secret weapon.
This is a fob for my exhaust. It is a valve exhaust, and when I open up these valves with this button here, I basically have an open exhaust, which should give me a lot more power than stock. All right, fourth gear, we're doing our pull. I'm in it, and I'm flooring it. Come on, 5 horsepower. Woo! That felt strong. That felt good.
It sounded good.
Yes. Oh yeah, thank you. So how are things going here?
So this car has a front differential, and that differential is usually filled with fluid. This one was not. It was full of water. So that doesn't bode well.
How bad is that based on what we did to it last night?
Not great, but we took out all the water and replaced it with fluid. So that's good. So now it should work, save for a few things that are a little bit concerning in the back before you put it on the dyno.
Well, I put on some more tape, so I think the diffuser's good now, but I did happen to notice that it was all mucky from the coolant continuing to leak.
Yes.
So I'll get it off the lift, top that off, and I think now that means it's time for you to strap onto this bad boy and show us what it's made of.
Right, except for the fact that I think you're a little scared.
I'm scared a lot. It doesn't go places well right now. I'm not even sure it's gonna make it up the ramp, but.
Okay, you know what, to make you feel better, I will go first and I will show you two what real power looks like, okay? You're gonna see.
Good luck.
Both of you.
It'll all be gone.
Now it's my turn, and my car should make around 480 horsepower if the stock configuration is to be believed. I don't know if Aston Martin was lying to me or if I'm lying to myself. But here goes nothing. And I'm gonna put my seatbelt on because this is gonna yell at me if I don't, because it thinks we're going somewhere. All right, it's gonna be loud. So I'll get it up to 3,000 RPM, and then I'm gonna hit it. And go! My traction control lights are on. Hopefully it didn't hurt nothing. Hopefully I made some power. Fingers crossed.
In fact, he did make power and a lot of it, but just to make sure his first run wasn't a fluke, he gave it another go.
Come on! Let's do it! Woo! That is one heck of a noise. That felt really strong. Felt really good.
The error lights were off, but the dyno was not too kind. So the nature of the challenge still had Ed feeling like he was marching his sweet pig to its eventual slaughter.
Whew, okay, well, here goes nothing. I can't say I'm optimistic about this in terms of the success rate as a percentage of horsepower or the car not braking again. I mean, let's be honest, the flood has been the Tanya Harding to this car's Olympic hopes and dreams throughout this driving experience. And it just keeps braking in new ways, which is kind of what you have to expect from a flood car, the gift that keeps on giving. But I suppose we'll see. He says he has to take it for a calibration roll, which sounds like the worst sushi ever.
You didn't quite make it to your red line.
Am I supposed to hit the rev limiter?
You can
pull it a little further.
Okay, let's just kill it. It's really weird. Okay, second gear, third gear, and now I just let it eat.
Ed, that sounded amazing. That may have sounded even better than my car.
And no error lights.
Well, that's even better.
It didn't even blow up.
Didn't catch on fire even the littlest bit. And it made 411 horsepower. Now, Lamborghini said it had 520. We're allowing for 20% drivetrain loss, and so I am only missing 5 horsepower from 416.
Where did they go?
They must have been some breed of horse that didn't make the arc.
Okay. Right.
Well, we are on a different metric here because we are rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. So we were expecting 15% drivetrain loss from new, and my almost 20-year-old Ferrari made 337 horsepower on the dyno, which is 15% dyno loss. So my Ferrari is like brand new, if not better than new.
So my car was supposed to be making 565 horsepower at the crank from the factory, and on the dyno it made 456, which is a 20% drivetrain loss. If we're going by the 15% drivetrain loss, that means that my car lost the most power.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, do you think Aston Martin may have been exaggerating a little bit on their horsepower figures to sell cars?
No, dyno's broken.
Wait. The dyno broke in the middle, but then fixed itself for Ed?
Exactly, yeah.
That makes no sense. But
yeah, that's what happened.
I'm actually getting a text.
No.
And it's from Auto Tempest. This is my first one of these.
Okay, all right.
Now that you have shown whether or not your cars have all the power you thought was there, let's see if the value you keep claiming is valid. Your next stop is Palm Beach, where you will each receive a trade-in appraisal.
Okay.
Authorized dealers do not like branded titles.
No, they don't. And they do not like torn up tops and pimpage either, customization.
Well, my car is the newest, and it hasn't had any branded titles, so good luck, gentlemen.
Oh boy.
Let's go find out.
Nambos.
So here we are, another day in South Florida paradise at McLaren Palm Beach, because Auto Tempest has told us to get here with our aging supercar hoopties to have them appraised. And the closest appraisal to what we paid will pass this test. I'm feeling pretty good about my odds. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. I shrewdly negotiated this car with a purchase price of just $59,000. And in fact, if you were faced with the opportunity to buy any of these cars, or any car on earth for that matter, for 60 grand or so, you would be insane to pick anything other than this. Keep in mind that from 2004 to 2014, the model run of the Lamborghini Gallardo, only 80 or so came to the US as convertibles with manual transmissions. And I believe that you'd be crazy to buy anything else.
Ed, you're forgetting two things.
Yes.
You got a bunch of tape on the back and flood car. That just tanks the value, any collectability, any desirability. Unlike my car, which has a clean Carfax, only 30,000 miles, this is very close to a retail-ready car with just a few minor fixes. I didn't pay that much for it, so I can resell it for not that much. Same with whoever would buy it next. I'm expecting a huge, huge number, or at least pretty close to what I paid. Freddie, what?
Excuse me, Mr. Huge Number. Let me tell you about some huge numbers. This is a 2015 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S. This is the biggest engine that they've ever put in an Aston Martin, especially this small of a car. And it's the fastest one out of all of these, and it's also the one that looks the best. This has carbon ceramic brakes, it's carbon black edition, and this will definitely make the most money when it comes to appraise this.
But Aston's drop in value like rocks. The moment you bought this thing, it probably depreciated, even though it's already used.
I can still hear this car depreciating, and I know that as soon as you have to replace those fancy carbon ceramic brakes, they will be worth what the whole car is worth.
Okay, you know what? There's only one way to solve this. Let's go inside where there's some air conditioning and let's see what these things are actually worth by a professional appraiser.
Sounds good to me.
As we opened the door, we couldn't shake the feeling that we were in a little bit over our heads, just a bit. Maybe it's the pristine showroom or the $1.5 million McLaren Senna staring at us in the face, but something gave us a hint that this experience could be a little less than pleasant for some of us. We handed our keys over to Renee, the hopefully reasonable appraiser at McLaren Palm Beach, and hope for the best.
Feast your eyes on my gated shifter and all of its valuable glory. Nope, don't go back there. Nothing to see in the diffuser area.
He's found the tape.
No.
Seems to like my Ferrari a little bit. He's getting inside, starting it up. No, he's not. He is putting the top down. Please, no, please work. Oh yeah, the hole.
You're gonna hear a loud crunch and then a pop.
That's a big hole. I know.
Oh, Freddie, he's moving towards the front of your car and touching the edge of the paint.
He doesn't need to do that.
He's noticing that none of the panels fit on your car.
Oh no! All right.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. Please back.
All right.
What do you think?
So, I think some of those cars have seen better days. I wouldn't usually take those cars in on trade, just FYI. The Vantage, here we go.
Okay.
You got 45,000, sir. 45,000. Yep. All right. Yeah. All right. So, Floodgate, or should I say the Swim Edition Lamborghini? We got 33 for you, sir. Sorry.
$33,000.
The top works.
Yeah.
The top works. That's good, and it's in great shape. The rear diffuser definitely needs some attention. You might want to get that checked out. And the Ferrari with half the key missing. I think it's a nice car. It doesn't align all the way through. There's minor to major paintwork on the car, but I would say 38,000. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. I think I need to sit down.
Are you guys? Yeah. No, it's because you're spinning. That's why.
No, there's a lounge over here. Really? Come on. Okay. I just lost $39,000 because I paid $59,000. I spent 12.5 or so fixing it, and now I guess it's worth $33,000.
That's a lot of thousands, but I'm not much better than you. 24,000.
I lost the least at $18,000. So since that's the smallest number,
okay,
I technically won, but it sure doesn't feel like I'm winning here. That's a big hit.
Yeah.
Hollow victory for sure. Oh, hold on. I'm vibrating here. Gentlemen, now that you've learned how much you'll each have to chip in when you finally come to your senses and trade your cars on a C8 Corvette, your next challenge is now. You must go to the president's house and take a picture with your cars in front of it. After you manage to do that, you'll need to find out what his neighbors think of the cars you bought and of their owners.
Okay, I can't do that. The president lives in Washington, D.C. I can't be away from my wife because I don't know if you guys know this, but she's very, very, very pregnant.
My wife is extremely pregnant, and Tyler, you're with child as well?
Very much. Really in the next week or two. So this is our last hurrah, but I'm not driving to DC. I think the president's house probably in this instance means Mar-a-Lago, which is here. It's not very far away, right?
That's right. It's just over the water this way.
Yeah,
so
$18,000. That's a lot of hoopties.
24 grand. That's 24 grand. Okay.
I think we'll be keeping them.
I think so.
Agreed.
While the challenge seemed pretty simple initially, it's worth noting that West Palm Beach was once considered the most expensive zip code in the country back in the day, and that our destination Mar-a-Lago was an enormous country club resort worth hundreds of millions of dollars. A membership at this place starts at over $200,000, so obviously, with such a high-profile clientele, they would turn us away instantly. But as luck would have it, they waved us right in.
We have gotten inside Mar-a-Lago. Hello.
What's going on, man?
Good, how are you? I don't think we were supposed to be coming all the way in here, but he waved us in. So, did we just make a mistake?
Kind of. Folks, you can't do this.
Okay.
It's private property, you get arrested.
So what if my last name was Trump? What?
They said we have to leave right now. So
It's private property and we're going to call the police. Yeah, we're getting... Well, I made it to the front gate of Mar-a-Lago. The only reason we got in is because of the Ferrari. The only reason.
Sorry, Mr. Trump.
Adios, Mar-a-Lagos.
Sure, Auto Tempest requested a picture, but in this TikToking day and age, a shaky, poorly ended cell phone clip is much better. So we decided to count it as a win and leave, moving our final challenge of asking the president's nearby neighbors of their opinions on our cars. To save us from resorting to drawing straws, I volunteered my boyish good looks to woo the crowds and let my inner game show host blossom.
Hey, how are you? Good. We're just filming a YouTube video. I have a little challenge out here. Very cute dog. Is it okay if I ask you 3 questions about these cars?
Sure.
You like them?
Yeah, I love it.
Which one do you like the best, like you would most want to drive?
Ferrari all the way.
Ferrari all the way?
Aston Martin.
I'd say the Aston Martin.
The Aston Martin?
I know I like the black. I'm not crazy about the colors.
Okay.
Black one.
Because James Bond owned one.
So which one do you think is the most expensive? The Aston?
Yeah.
So you think the Ferrari?
Yeah.
The Lamborghini.
The black one.
The black one?
Yeah.
Why?
Looks nice.
Okay. Which
This
one
one's
do you...
like dirty. This one has some on the back of it.
And what do you think each person does for a living?
Doctor, equity, cocaine.
Cocaine? A dealer?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Aston Martin, like porn star?
Yeah, like owns a couple strip clubs or something.
Owns a couple strip clubs. That's perfect. And the Ferrari?
A doctor, a young one.
A young, handsome doctor? Right. Thank you very much. That has all the answers that I need.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, bye. It's pretty obvious. Everyone thinks that these cars are more expensive and better looking than a new Corvette. That's obvious, but I'm kind of surprised by this. The favorite car by a lot was Freddie's Aston Martin, and also they thought it looked the most expensive. Most people said that car looked the most expensive.
How is that more surprising? Look at it, it's beautiful. Oh no. We just got a text from Auto Tempest. Congratulations, you've managed to lose tens of thousands of dollars and look like drug dealers and strip club owners at the same time. Your next test will take your shady looking rides to one of the most prestigious events in the world, the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance. You will receive instructions and a care package at your hotel room tomorrow morning. Try not to bogey this one up. Do you know what that means?
It's a golf term, so if you don't hit par, it's a bogey, you've messed up on the hole. So don't mess up.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I don't want to play golf.
Well, let's get some rest. I don't want to play golf all day, but I'm done talking to people on the street, that's for sure.
I don't like golf, I'm serious.
Yeah, I mean, me neither.
Auto Tempest's call for a road trip wasn't unexpected, but we had no idea what their care package entailed. But since we were waiting for it to show up, we figured we could make sure our cars were still mechanically ready to make the journey.
Hold on. Kill this thing. I got a text from Auto Tempest. Okay. You've got just over 300 miles to get to Amelia Island, and you must make it by sunset. That's right. Ed finally gets to Cannonball. But since we almost got you arrested last night,
Private property, you get arrested.
seriously, we're not going to try to do that today. So this is not a street race. But as a tenet of cannonballing is to minimize your time stopped, a pass for this leg will be to be stopped for less than 30 minutes total.
Is that possible?
Absolutely, yeah. We stopped for 46 minutes total from New York to Los Angeles, 10 times this far. So yeah, we can do that without any trouble.
So we're cannonballing today.
We'll go fast as well so that we have a little bit of a cushion in case you break down or nothing at all bad happens to my car.
I don't like going fast, but you know.
I'll set the pace. It'll be a blast.
All right.
Oh, a follow-up text. And since Amelia Island is one of America's best-known golfing destinations, and since the Corvette has always been renowned for its ability to accommodate multiple sets of golf clubs, you must carry with you some golf clubs in each car. Freddie, they obviously assumed that you had done this properly and bought a mid-engine car where your storage would be here in the front.
This isn't funny. This isn't funny.
Just shut it.
No. Just leave it alone.
Our supercars were obviously not built with storage space in mind. Regardless, we went about trying to play Tetris, attempting to load our golf clubs into our car's tiny storage compartments so we could reach our final destination.
Can't forget the helmet, safety first. Guys, I don't want to do this anymore.
Our cars were making light work of Florida's arrow straight highways, and while I'm sure most of you know what a cannonball run is, Ed, of course, has to explain his claim to fame anyway.
So the Cannonball Run was not just a wacky 1981 movie. It was in fact a real thing, and there were real people in real cars that raced from New York to Los Angeles several times in the 1970s, and it kind of became the stuff of legend. There were some continuation events after the Cannonball Baker Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash finished in 1979, but now really it's just idiots like me that decide to go out and see how fast they can do it. And in 2013, my co-driver and I drove from the Red Ball parking garage in Manhattan to the Portofino Inn in Redondo Beach in just 28 hours, 50 minutes. We averaged 100.3 miles an hour over the road, 98 miles an hour overall. Now that record was beaten late last year, but I held it for about 6 years, and it's a big part of my life. I love a road trip, and for me, it was really that holy grail of road trips.
Ed's probably going on about how he won the cannonball and how this is about efficiency and blah, 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 and I have a voice like this.
Of course, speeding tickets are sometimes a cost of doing business when it comes to cannonballing and the like, but at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal.
I just want my car to get there in one piece, and preferably not in prison.
Freddie, my coolant temperature is creeping up. It's at about 105. Red is at 115. Normally it's due straight up at 90. What do you think we should do?
We should pull over because your car's about to explode.
Nope. And it just died. So I know you know a lot more about mechanical things than I do, but are you sure that it's not the gas cap?
It's not the gas cap, no.
Convincing Ed that the problem was not the fault of his gas cap already took 3 minutes away from our allowed stop time, and the Gallardo was hanging by a thread. It definitely needed to cool down before the next leg of the journey, and this meant our 30-minute time limit would be wiped out on our first stop. So we had lunch.
So here's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to drive a lot slower.
No.
And you're gonna have to blast the heat the entire time.
What?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Your car's not gonna make it if you don't.
With Ed's flooded failure on bent wheels finally not blowing out the only water it's supposed to have, we dropped the pace down to a smooth 5 miles per hour under the speed limit, something that made Mr. Bolian not like this challenge very much anymore.
All right, my top is down, my heat is blasting. I'm not allowed to go fast. We've already been stopped more than 30 minutes. We have proven that exotic cars are terrible for road trips.
Poor Ed, he looks miserable. We got an idea to get him a little refreshed.
Ed's not looking like he's in very good shape. But this car is perfect. I have my AC set at the lowest setting. Doesn't matter how hot it gets outside. I'm not getting any sunburn because, of course, I have a hard top and life cannot be better.
But then we experienced another kind of breakdown which had nothing to do with our cars.
My fuel tank is just full. Half of my human tank is full. I am just to go BP right now.
Looks like Tyler has to go.
With my bladder level decrease and our fuel levels increased, Ed and I decided to go exploring, and we found that we had discovered the most Florida of Florida rest stops. We found some souvenirs and decided to throw some local flavor on the back of Freddie's Aston Martin.
You were Florida man for a good 15 minutes.
In fact, we were all Florida men about to finish the last leg of our journey, but not before I insisted we get off the highway and take the scenic route.
Tyler has brought us to a ferry.
This is some of the prettiest road I have ever driven on. So you guys are in for a treat. This is beautiful.
I think we should do something that we haven't done this entire trip. Let's just have fun with our cars. They're driving as they should. Hopefully they don't blow up.
Hope not.
Yes. Your car's probably peeing itself being so close to water right now anyway, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a little scared of the water right now, isn't it?
It had a bad aquatic experience.
Since we had now officially reached Amelia Island with our cargo intact, for the most part, we made sure that it got to its final destination safe and sound.
Problems I solve them, I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon it down because I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them, I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling.
That scenic route I was talking about, we found it. Looking back at what we'd done over the last several days, it would have been foolish to think that these cars would have survived. At the start of this journey, we set out to prove that our cheap exotics were better than the newest Corvette. And through a relentless trial by fire, our cars showed their almost countless flaws. But they never gave up.
A year ago, this car was underwater. 3 weeks ago, it wouldn't go over 50 miles per hour. Its body panels are falling off. Some of them are even missing. Only recently will it accept gas. It fights going fast, and it will shake your teeth out at the speed limit. It has become an involuntary sauna to me, and I'm not sure the smell of mold and perspiration will ever leave it. I may look like a drug dealer, a Ponzi scheme operator, or someone who won the lottery 15 years ago, but I do not care. I love this car. This week it's been my living room, my thrill ride, my mechanical education, and my escape from responsibility. These guys can say all they want, but no one will ever convince me that this car is anything short of absolute perfection.
I gotta tell you, I love this car. I love it so much, but I really didn't expect it to make it here to Amelia Island without some kind of serious problem, but it's made it. But not only has it made it, this car being the oldest and the slowest and supposedly the least reliable has won the most challenges by a lot, and it hasn't slowed Freddie or Ed down one bit. It's just a perfect, plucky little car. Well, perfect's not the right word. The Corvette C8 is perfect. It's fast, it hauls your golf bags, it does whatever you want it to do. But do you really want that kind of practicality in a car that's your extra car that you're not gonna drive every day? That's why people have been putting up with Ferraris for 50 years, all of their quirks and issues and everything. I wouldn't be in any other car right now. It's amazing.
Everything that I asked of this amazing car, it's just been given with no issues. Hasn't given me any errors, any warning lights, not even a stumble, because as we know, the best car is always going to be a naturally aspirated V12. This trip could not have gone better, and the fact that this car, along with that Gallardo and that 360, we made it on a budget, and we beat these cars up, and they just came back for more. Man, this trip is just perfect. We're here.
Holy cow. I am very thankful for a chilly night here in Amelia Island after the heat stroke that I enjoyed today.
It didn't overheat again.
It didn't, but it's mad in every possible sense of the word.
Mine's not doing well either. There's something with the F1 gearbox. Surprise, surprise. Reverse doesn't work sometimes in a lot of traffic and heat. I'll have to turn the car off and on again like an old computer.
That does not matter, okay? None of your problems matter because we are here in Amelia Island. We made it, guys. This entire thing is over.
Hold on. Oh, a text from Auto Tempest.
Oh.
Welcome to Amelia Island. We cannot believe you've survived this long, but it is not over yet.
Oh.
Tomorrow is for all the marbles. You will take your cars to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel where they will be judged by a representative of the Amelia Island Concourse d'Elegance. We know that your cars are far from the condition they normally expect cars to be in, but we have convinced one of their judges to evaluate each of your cars out of a possible score of 100 points.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, then he should win. I mean, his car's terrible and way overpriced and all those things, and I can hear it depreciating from here, but
it's natural for the newest car to win because it's the nicest, so he cheats and he wins? That's not fair.
That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, man, you pick the right car, and you get all the prizes. That's exactly how the world works, my friend.
Another text. The raw score will not be the final answer. Each pass you have achieved along the journey will count as an additional 10 points to your score. So I got 2, you got 2. How many did you get?
4.
Oh, so I probably still have no prayer at this, but 20 extra points.
That's gonna make a big difference because your car has original paint, mine actually doesn't.
No, it has its issues though, and it is certainly far, far, far from original, which is what Concourse people like.
So that means that we have to spend the night cleaning our cars. My least favorite thing to do.
I was just getting used to these stickers.
So were we.
Okay.
I like the bullet holes. It's like James Bond.
It's like James Bond.
It's
That's
awesome.
what I said.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Did you see that?
Even a kill shot up there for you.
I don't think that's what glass does when it's shot, but okay. Yeah. All right.
It's such a reflection of your personality. Yes, food for us, peel for you, and goo gone.
Can you get me some food though?
Since Auto Tempest challenged us to have our cars picked apart by Concourse judges the next day, we figured we shouldn't show up with filthy cars, so we found the nearest 24-hour car wash.
Concourse prep, gentlemen. Normally it's hundreds of hours of detailing your perfectly restored car before you go to a Concours d'Elegance, but it's late and I'm tired and we don't have time for that. Even though this is for all the marbles and 100 points is a lot, I'm just gonna go through a drive-through car wash and do a few little wipes here and there, and it should be fine.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna take this through a drive-through car wash?
Sure. Why not?
Have you seen the car?
It rains in Italy. It's fine.
I agree wholeheartedly. That's actually more effort than I would normally put into cleaning a car. Normally it's blast, drive fast to dry it off. So I think that's a tremendous idea. Well, I'll tell you what, I am going to go first because I'll be honest, I have a little bit more confidence in my top than yours. We'll see how brutal it is, and then you'll be up.
Perfect. And Freddie, you need a little goo gone probably.
Don't worry about me. Why are you enabling him?
Oh, he's on it.
What? You're insane.
It'll be fine.
You're nuts.
Ed decided it was time to replace the perfectly functional high-visibility tape with some less conspicuous wire ties. Then it was into the automated car wash, which had a surprisingly intense tire cleaner on the way in. With the car having survived one raging torrent already, Ed wasn't worried until he was.
All right, yeah, it's dripping. Yep, we got it. Not a lot, honestly. It's okay.
And then it was my turn to show off Italian build quality in the Ferrari.
This car wash has the exact same lights as my Ferrari. I've tried to forget about these, but I have to turn them on now to match. Yes.
Oh.
Yep, coming in. Oh!
His car looks like it's on fire.
I'll exit slow. I'll exit quickly. I didn't know this car wash also did baptisms. Goodness.
How did that go?
I unknowingly entered myself into a wet t-shirt contest and lost.
I'm sure you emerged victorious. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh man, if only you hadn't shaved your nipples.
Okay, so those two guys have no idea what they're doing when it comes to washing a car, but I actually care about this car and I wouldn't be caught dead putting this through an automated car wash. So what you want to do is just get some quick detailer. I've already had this car coated before I got it and just want to apply some and boom, all that road grime is completely gone. Now all I have to do is do this for the entire car. This might take a while.
The next morning, with our cars shining like 3 diamonds in a porta potty, we drove to the Concourse, and despite being the least valuable cars at the event by a large margin, we were told to park right in front of the main stage so our cars could be judged.
So we are here at the Amelia Island Concourse Cars and Coffee, and we have our supercar hoopties here. It is cold.
Yes, it is.
It's supposed to be warm in Florida. What happened? I live here.
It feels fine. It's wonderful.
That is not true. Okay, so I'm actually excited, but I'm also mortified because my car is not exactly Concourse ready, but I think mine is going to be the best of the bunch.
It's a whole lot closer than ours are. Yes, we left, the bugs did not come off in that automated car wash last night. And
oh, did they not?
No additional effort was applied.
Okay, so we have a Concourse judge here, Brian Weber, and he's gonna go over everything wrong with our cars and then give us a score for all the marbles.
Out of 100 points, and then we'll add to that 10 points for each of the challenges that we've passed along the way. So Tyler will have an extra 40 points, and each of us will have an extra 20 points.
Is that Brian?
Hello,
Yes.
Brian. This is Brian.
Please be gentle.
I'll try.
And honestly, be a little bit quick because Tyler's wife's due soon. My wife's already having contractions, and I've got a 400-mile drive home.
We'll be really quick.
Okay, thanks. Good. All right, Brian. The moment of truth. I will tell you that all the paint is original underneath this beautiful wrap.
Underneath the wrap.
So I'm sure you can take my word for that.
Okay, and these are original bugs on the front too?
This is a 2015 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, and I know you're used to cars that are a little older, but this right here, it's an interesting material. It's called carbon fiber. It's like new age. It's sort of upscale, okay? So you can just put some points on for that.
Brian, Ed and Freddie are gonna blab your ear off about their cars, but this is a yellow Ferrari. I'm just gonna let the car speak for itself. It's magnificence. Just look.
Okay, we'll take a look. Nice. Is that patina too?
We scraped some stuff off.
And some of the buttons pertain to the action that you would intend to request, some do not.
More than 50%?
It's a coin toss.
This is the carbon black edition. They don't just sell it to anybody. Like, you have to ask for it, I guess.
I had a piece fall off. It's for the top. It'll go right back on though.
Okay.
Maybe you could help me.
There's nothing to see on the passenger seat at all. Certainly no stains related to any underwater excursions.
We don't want the car to be too new, you know? That's not what I try to do with my vintage. That's right, 2015 is a good year.
Don't worry about the cleanliness. That can be helped.
Yeah, we don't care about cleanliness in Concourse.
Right.
It's a good car for what it is, and I'm sure you will agree with me.
And you're not biased against the other two?
Not at all, no. Why would you say that?
It's not working.
No.
Do your thing. I'll leave you alone, but just remember, best car here. Thank you.
Strong contender, huh?
Strong something.
I can't imagine that you'll need to look any further.
I can't imagine I want to.
Well, are those some of the finest cars you've ever seen to grace the grounds of Amelia Island?
They're some of the finest cars, yes.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your time and your detailed judging, which we will review later, but I think we should go look at some cars.
Oh, yeah.
Is this grass safe from oil and fluids?
Somewhat. Somewhat.
Good. Someone's good.
Yeah, we'll throw them out of here soon.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
let's go see the show.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful car.
The Amelia Island Concourse attracts some of the most beautiful and significant cars from all around the world, and all the major auction companies have a presence on the grounds. Freddie and I found some examples of our cars represented here that were similar in almost every way. Not.
So would you believe it? I actually found my exact car, and they want a little more than what I paid for it. Now this is a 2017 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, and it has a convertible, and it has a manual transmission, which makes it a little bit more desirable. A little bit being the operative word, because they want somewhere in the vicinity of, okay, it's 200 grand. $200,000. Let's just say I bought this car for way less. I think it looks better, and I get to keep another $150,000. I call that a win. This car is really nice though. It is beautiful.
Clearly they have good taste here, because this beautiful Ferrari 360 behind me was going to buy this fancy auction at Amelia Island. Very fancy. It's only 300 miles on it.
After I awoke from my sticker shock coma and Ed learned that his wife wasn't immediately going to pop a baby, the three of us were finally able to take a deep breath and look back on this journey that had gotten us to such an amazing moment. Like any good trek, the journey was more important than any of the destinations. But as we neared the finish line, it was clear that none of us had lost. It was time, though, to figure out who had actually won.
Oh yes, we have the report cards from Auto Tempest, and just break the seal on these, huh?
You can keep them in there. I won. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't think so. It's probably going to be
Ed,
the person with the car that
Congratulations,
didn't blow
Ed.
up, you know? All right, so out of a total 100 points, I got a 74.
Yeah, because you have the newest car.
Well, of course, duh.
It's only 5 years old, and
I bought the right car, correct.
Ed and I are going on 20 with our cars.
Right,
but,
you bought the wrong cars.
Yeah, zeros for the destroyed top, zeros for the interior that's all been pimped, and they really didn't like those lights. More zeros.
Really?
The wheels, rims, zeros, yes. That was a 49 whole.
You know, I'm just gonna put this right here. I don't really feel like it reflects the joy that I've found in that fine automobile, so it can live out the rest of time.
The world needs to know Aqua Lambo's score.
If they must. It was a 33.
That's not many numbers. If we add our scores of the test we passed, so each test is 10 points, I got an extra 20 points, making my score a 94.
Ooh, I get a 20 as well, but that only takes me to 53.
Okay.
53. Well, I won the most challenges. This Ferrari is winning. It just wins and wins, but even at 40 points, I can't make up for this horrible score I just got, so I'm only at an 89. That means I lose to...
No, that's right. You lost to the correct car.
Oh,
it doesn't matter if you buy one...
Hold on, I'm getting a text message.
No, you're not.
Congratulations, boys. You've made it to the finish line. I hope your satisfaction in that is not quelled too heavily by the scores you've just received. And no, Freddie, you have not won. There's an additional judgment to be levied.
Are they watching us?
You must deduct 1 point for every $1,000 you spent beyond the base MSRP of $59,000 of the new C8 Corvette.
You cheated. I said you cheated from the beginning, and it has now cost you, because you paid $69,000 for it, so how much did that cost you? 10
Minus
grand?
10 points, and I have 84 points.
And since I was well under budget, I get to stick with my 89. Yeah, Ed.
I got to take away the 12 I spent fixing it, so that takes me down to 41. So
41.
That's a handy victory right there.
That's an F minus.
Yeah.
And that's a B plus for me, which is better than my college GPA. How about that?
So you get to enjoy many more Ferrari miles ahead, eh?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
This entire insane trip, and those 3 cars.
And those 2 clutches.
Yeah, the clutches probably look like this road.
My car gets nervous when we park this close to water, though.
Does it want to return back to 168?
It wants to avoid that fate, but it's still here. I mean, I have dreamt of doing this kind of a challenge with friends like you and cars like those my whole life.
We all grew up loving Top Gear, idolizing the presenters, and dreaming that one day we might be able to live out a fantasy that looked exactly like this. Auto Tempest allowed us to indulge in this crazy idea, and despite the odds, we made it. Even with the grueling drag launches, hard road racing miles, exposed leaking drivetrains, shattered egos, breakdown after breakdown, botched bubblegum repairs, panic-induced dyno runs, and road trips that tested our ability to stay out of trouble, and keeping our sanity in the hot sun, these cars, these amazing, magnificent cars kept going.
Tyler, pull in behind me. I got nothing. Hi-ho, silver or blue.
Power press. No!
We can do this! We can do this! What if my last name was Tom?
Our cars were tired, obviously, and we were too, but it had been a week that we would never forget. Each mile had been its own kind of unexpected perfection. We had each fallen in love with our cars and had enjoyed this trip as a high watermark in our friendship together. But yes, if you compare the numbers, a C8 Corvette would have been better. There's no question about that. But when it comes to things that you can't see on a graph, like the sense of satisfaction for a repair well done, a kind word said by a total stranger, or an adventure between three friends that they'll remember for the rest of their lives, I didn't want to be anywhere else except on this road, in this car. And something told me we were all feeling the same way.
Upload some terrible pictures, ask a terrible price. Hasn't been parked underwater for at least a year. Only 2 wheels are bent badly enough to cause a serious vibration. Only overheats when you go over the speed limit. You never have to worry about that. Bumper is loose, but the zip ties are holding. What else? All the water has been recently removed from the transmission and the differential, so you're good to go there. The check engine light is only intermittent. It's never on when the car's off. Fuel gauge in up, backup camera in up. Don't worry, that stain on the passenger seat is from muddy water, not a passenger bodily accident. It's not fast enough to cause those. Only 10 drag passes, 1 track day, 2 dyno runs, and 1 road trip on the new clutch. Same for the tires. That's a low option car, you wouldn't want it. It doesn't even have that futuristic paddle transmission that everybody wants. 5 owners since new, but 2 loving owners since new. Title is branded, rebuilt, bad. Carfax is worse, VinWiki timeline is worse still. Ask your wife before you text me. Don't waste my time. If you don't have a wife, don't expect this to get one for you. Women will only assume that you sell drugs. Teenage boys, though, will follow you on Instagram and ask for rides to cars and coffee. Not suggested for drivers over 6 feet tall, absolutely not. And I'll own or finance it for $0 a month and 0% interest with 100% down regardless of your credit. No joyrides, no test drives without proof of funds. Don't lowball me. I know what I got. I think that'll do the trick.
To everyone that watched the series, thank you so much for tuning into Car Trek. And also thank you to our series sponsor, Autotempest.com, where you can search all the top sites for cars for sale and not just cheap exotics. You can go check it out in the link in the video description below right now.